Hi there, welcome at this 13-minute core flow. My name is Frank and we'll start in staff pose with a little joint warm-up and core exercise. So let's go into staff. You sit down, you lengthen your legs in front of you and you sit as straight as you can. Start by bringing your chest a little bit more forward, and then pulling your shoulders back and down, placing the hands on your legs, pulling the toes towards you, pushing the heels forward, and lengthening the arms in front of you. Doing a couple circles with the wrists. Don't forget to go the other way. Trying to sit up as straight as you can for your core. And taking the wrists, putting the fingers back, taking the other fingers and putting them back. Bringing both hands together, raising your arms as high as you can. So that's our reverse prayer pose with your hand down. So we're moving kind of like a jellyfish. Now lengthen the arms until they're in one straight line with the shoulders and start to rotate. Little circles backwards. And forwards. Now opening the arms to the sky, hands together. And exhale, you place your right hand on top of your left ear. Your left hand goes on top of your right hand. You look up. Now you use gravity of your hand to pull the neck slightly down, just until you find this comfortable stretch. Maybe you want to look down, look up again. Where do you feel the stretch? Just into your own body, not too much. Coming up on an inhalation, and left hand on the right here. Down, looking up, inviting some movement. You're using the extra gravity of your hands. Stretch your trapezius. Going back up, looking up to your hands, lengthening the arms in front of you, bringing the fingers to your shoulders and clapping them out. That's for your elbows. And last but not least, our ankles. So make little circles. Maybe feel your core burning by now. From here you can lift up your hips, coming to boat pose. Stay here for 5 breaths. Bring your chest up, looking up to the sky. And then placing your hands next to your bum, trying to lift up your bum as you keep your heels off the floor. And then maybe you can bring your knees through your arms, bend your elbows, and step into plank, come into downward facing dog. Whatever happened just now, we'll meet back at the top of our mat in standing position. So coming up, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forwards. Time for sun salutation A. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands on the shins. Exhale, plank. Now, time to set up our plank properly. So the heels point backwards. The hip is a little bit lower than you expect. You tilt the pelvis so that you feel your abdomen shaking at the bottom. Now you want to push your hands down but also forward so that you lift the area in between your shoulder blades, and also so that you use the strong part of your hand. So the dome starting at the base of the thumb and the index finger and going all around our base knuckles, so pressing the hands forward. From here, bending the knees, lifting the feet off, keeping the hip at exactly the same place, then bending the elbows so that they end up next to your body. Coming all the way down, Moving forward, and inhale, you lift your chest and your hands off the floor. On exhale, you move back, and then you turn your toes around, and you push your hip up to downward facing dog. Now that's the basic version of a vinyasa. And if you don't have sufficient strength in your triceps in your core, to keep your hip and your shoulders in the same line as you go down into a chaturanga, then it's really important that you keep your knees on the floor at all times, because otherwise you're collapsing into your hip, you're hurting your lower back. So going forward into plank, then bringing both knees to the floor, bending the elbows. Inhalation, lifting up your chest. Exhalation, going to downward facing dog. Now we look forward and start to walk our feet towards the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, look up to your hands. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold, keep looking forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank. Now go for your knees again, or stay here in plank. Then you want to externally rotate the shoulders so that the inside of your elbows move slightly forward. When you do that, it's easier to just bend the elbows and move forward as you go into chaturanga. Then turn your toes around, lengthen the arms, and pull the shoulders back on inhalation. On exhalation, go for downward facing dog. We'll stay for 5. You can keep your knees bent if you want. Lengthen the back is more important than the heels on the floor. And maybe on the inhalation you can bend your knees and lift your hip a little bit higher, and on the exhalation push your heels down towards the floor. Keep pushing your hands forward. And on the exhalation you look forward and you step your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank. Chaturanga. Cobra. And down dog. Keep pushing your hands forward. And try to breathe deep and slow. Smooth. And long. Last breath in. Bring it out, look forward and walk your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bend your knees, touch the floor, lift your hands, look up to your hands. Check for a second if your knees are not beyond your toes, or if you can still see your big toes. And then lower your bum a little bit more. Look up again. So we'll now go for sun salutation B. And if you have issues with your knee, go for lunge instead of warrior 1. So on exhale we fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank. Chaturanga. Cobra. And down dog. Now place your right foot in between your hands. The left heel goes on the floor in 45-degree angle. And inhalation, rise to warrior 1. Hip is forward. And exhalation, you go back for chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale here. And on the exhalation, you place your heel on the floor, left foot in between your hands. Inhale, come up to warrior 1. Turn your hips forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Whenever I say down dog, you can always think of vinyasa. This was sensation B. With warrior one, it's really important to be able to place your heel fully on the floor and to push into the outer edge of your back foot. Exhale, look forward, bend your knees and jump. In between your hands, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, raise your hands, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, raise the hands, bend the knees, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Back straight. Exhale, chaturanga. Elbows back. Inhale, cobra. Up dog, shoulders back. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale here. And exhale, left heel on the floor. Right foot in between the hands, come up on an inhalation. Exhale, chaturanga. Cobra. And down dog. Inhale here. Exhale, right heel goes in, left foot goes forward, inhale, come up. Exhale, downward facing dog. With or without vinyasa. So keep pushing your hands forward, use the thumb and the index finger. Keep the knees slightly bent. And push your hip up as high as you can, trying to find length in the lowest part of your back. And pointing the tailbone up instead of tucking it under. Inhale one more time. And exhalation, you bend your knees, you look forward, you jump. Hip up instead of forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, come up, chair pose. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Maybe you want to jump back. Make sure that you land in chaturanga, not in plank. Otherwise, it's very tough on the shoulders. So cobra. Downward facing dog. Left heel in the middle of your mat, right foot in between the hands, warrior one, and then open up into warrior two. Finding your strength, starting in the left foot, so you press the outer edge of your left foot deeply into the floor. And you feel that your entire left leg is engaged, including your glutes. Your right knee is above the ankle and slightly pointing towards the pinky toe because it has a tendency to collapse in. You also want your upper body to be in a straight line, hip facing towards the long side of your mat, you looking over your middle finger. Now reach forward, up and back, and reach the hand back as far as you can in inhalation. The legs in exactly the same position. And the next exhalation, placing your elbow on the knee. Left arm is in one straight line with your back and your leg. And you use the right elbow to create a little bit of leverage to open up your chest towards the sky. And you want to pull the left hand further forward. And you can stay here. Or you can lower the right hand down to the floor. And then you push the leg and the arm into each other to create that leverage. Option to stay or to wrap the right arm under and left arm back. And you grab your wrist, because if you do that you can pull on the arm, make the left arm long, opening up the chest towards the sky. And you want to stay here, or you can go for a bird of paradise, Stepping the left foot next to the right foot and lifting slowly the right foot off the floor. Finding balance while standing. And then starting to lengthen the right leg. Stay for 2, 1. And find your way back to extended side angle. If you're in an extended side angle, one more breath. And then come back to warrior 2. Staying here for a couple breaths. Feeling the right leg burning. And then going through your vinyasa to downward facing dog. Maybe you'd like to do a double vinyasa. Then you come back from cobra to chaturanga. You want to stay there, you can. Keep your hip at the same level as your back and your legs, and then push up to downward facing dog. Now the left heel goes in the mat. Now the right heel goes in the middle of the mat. The left foot goes forward in between the hands. We open up into warrior 1. And from there on we go to warrior 2. So pushing the right corner of the right foot into the floor. Bending the left knee more. Opening up the chest and the hip. Looking to your middle finger. Breathe. Use Ujjayi breathing to create more heat, more focus. Now scoop the sky on the inhalation. Bend the knees a little bit more on the exhalation. And pull the hands back on the next inhalation. On the exhale, you place your elbow on the knee, lengthen the right arm in one straight line. Look up to the hand and open up the chest. Keep pushing the right edge of your right foot into the floor. Lower the left hand if you just did the same. And then going for your bind or not. Making the right arm as long as you can. Opening up the chest to the sky, bring your hip back into the middle, in between the legs. And looking down, stepping the right foot next to the left, and slowly coming up into your bird. When the right leg is long, start to lengthen the left leg. Balance and find your way back to extended side angle. Slowly and with control. And then all coming back to warrior 2. Staying here. And finding your way to your downward facing dog. Maybe without vinyasa, or maybe with a double chaturanga. Taking 5 long breaths here. Pushing the hip as high as you can. If your heels are on the floor, then engage your legs and slightly internally rotate the thighs. So that means your heels actually stay in the same place, but you kind of move them to the right, to the outside. Exhale, look forward, come forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, chair. Exhale, felicity. Closing the eyes, feeling the balance or the lack of balance. Engaging the legs. Going into the last flow. Bending the knees, touching the floor, lifting the hands. Maybe opening your eyes again, falling forward on an exhalation. On an inhalation, make your back straight. Exhale, plank. Chaturanga, cobra, shoulders back, and downward facing dog. Right leg goes forward, left heel to the floor. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Lengthen the front leg. Reach forward and down. Grabbing the leg wherever you can. And then using the right hand to create a little bit of leverage so that you can open up your chest towards the sky. Your left arm is long. Look up to your left hand if you can. And you keep the right leg completely engaged. Try to bring the hips back in the line in between your heels. On exhalation, look down, bend the front knee, come up to warrior two. Lengthen the front leg and turn the feet inwards. Place your hands on your hips, open up the chest. On exhalation, you fold forward. Keep looking forward, don't look down. When you're at 90 degrees, you can look down. Place your hands in between your feet and then push the hands into the floor to point the elbows backwards. Bring slightly more of your weight to the front and try to lengthen the legs. Inhale, look forward, hands forward. Exhale, hands on the hips. Inhale, come up. Exhale, warrior two. Chaturanga. Down dog. When you're ready, and then going for the other side, it's warrior one, warrior two, triangle pose. Keep reaching forward instead of down. And use the leverage of your left hand, your leg. Keep the left leg engaged and open up from your chest. Turn the toe in, hands on the hips, grab the hand behind your back. Try to keep the palms together, open up the chest to the sky, and on exhalation fold forward. Your heels are slightly pointing out. Try to elongate your legs, to bring more of your weight to the ball of your feet. I know that's a challenge, but try to raise the hands as high as you can, actually to pull them towards the floor. Now release the hands onto your hips, step them underneath your shoulders. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands on the hips. Inhale, come up. Point the heels in, bend the knees. Open up the knees to the side. And place your hands in a funny position. Of your choice, I like this mudra. Try to keep the hips open, so really pointing the knees out. Coming onto your right toes. Placing the right heel back, left toes back down. And then raising both heels off the floor. Lowering your hip as high as you can. Opening up the knees to the side and pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, lower, 1, lower and done. Lengthen your legs, turn your left foot forward, warrior 2, and downward facing dog. With or without vinyasa, I'll skip it this time. Now we're going to jump to seated. So you want to push your hands forward as much as you can so that you lengthen your arms completely, and then you externally rotate your your shoulders. So it means that your triceps go underneath the biceps. And with this activation, this locking your arms, you exhale, you bend the knees, you look forward, and you jump, you engage the core, you bend your knees, and you sweep them through your arms. Maybe you want to look. And then place the feet on the floor. Lengthen your back, raise your hands, and fold forward. Keep looking forward as long as you can and grab your shin or maybe your toes. Try to push the heels forward, toes towards your shin, and open up your elbows to the side. On an inhalation, you lengthen your back. On exhalation, you move your head in the direction of your toes. Maybe you can also grab the outside of your feet, or grab your wrist behind your feet. Inhale, open up the back, so long back, exhale, fold forward. Keep those legs active, so heels forward, toes back. And then slowly come up on an inhalation. Laying down, placing the heels close to your bum, lifting the hip off the floor, walking the shoulder blades closer together, grabbing the hands beneath your bum, and then pushing the feet down into the floor and forward. When you do that, you engage your thighs completely, your hamstrings and your quadriceps, and you can lift your hip a little bit higher. And you also want to engage your glutes. And from here you want to think of bringing your chest in the direction of your chin. Keep breathing and make sure that your knees are pointing forward instead of out. And slowly release your hands, lower the hip, maybe drop the knees from side to side. Or maybe you want to bring them into your chest and make little circles with your lower back. We'll do one more of these. Or you can join me into wheel pose. So either go for one more bridge or join me for full wheel. So in full wheel, your feet start exactly the same. The start is exactly the same. You walk the shoulders together, you lift the hips, but then you bring the hands next to your ears with the fingers pointing towards your shoulders. You bring your elbows up as much as you can, and then you push into the hands to place your head on the floor. And then the next inhalation, or if it's easier for you on the exhalation, you lengthen the arms completely. And then it's your aim to lengthen the legs, to bring more of the weight in the direction of your arms, to release the neck, to lengthen the arms as well. Keep on breathing. When you want to come out of this pose, first bring your chin to your chest, and then slowly find your way out. Try to lengthen those legs completely. And then bring your chin to your chest, hip to the floor, knees to your chest, and head to your knees. Making little circles with the hip, placing the head on the floor, going for a happy baby. So you grab your feet from the outside, you raise the heels to the sky, and then you relax your shoulders back down. I like to bring my chin to my chest and then place the head back on the floor, because you have a lot more space in your neck. That's with the curvature. Maybe you can lengthen one leg and then the other. And maybe you can open up the hips a little bit more to the side. Try to bring your tailbone Let your tailbone, your sacrum, back on the floor. So the lowest part of your back is touching the floor if possible. And placing both heels close to your bum, going into your favorite version of a twist. Maybe going to the right. Simple one is that you just drop both knees to the right. You look to your left hand, which is long in one straight line, the shoulders. You can place your right hand on top of your left knee. You want to relax both the knees and the shoulder in the direction of the floor. Try to breathe deeply and slowly. Long conscious breaths, feeling the flow of air going in and out of your nostrils. And going for the other side, activating the core, bring the knees back to the center and then dropping them over to the left. We're going for your version of the twist. Relax your shoulder down to the floor. Add a little bit of gravity on your right knee. And try to breathe deep. At least 5 seconds in and 5 seconds out. And then bring the knees back to center, lengthening the legs, and resting in Shavasana. Palms to the sky, shoulder blades close together, and the feet dropping to the side. You can stay here for as long as you'd like. And each time you realize your mind is somewhere else, all you have to do is bring your attention back to your point of focus. You can focus on your breath, on one of the chakras. Maybe you want to focus on a mantra. Like freedom. Repeating this word over and over again. Enjoy.